doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up? How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast in the house. Hey!
We'll have a little pop-up. Have everybody over. It'll be good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's not just talk about it.
This is a beautiful thing, man. Just all this blackness, and we all just getting together. We playing dominoes, we eating, we drinking.
And, you know, food is always just the extra, man.
They deprive these people of their basic human rights. You know, and we call ourselves Americans. We're supposed to be above all this.
They'll fake the crisis. They'll make it seem way out of proportion.
We brothers, we breaking bread.
How y'all doing? We out here, chilling in the spot. What up?
Trying to hold it all together, man. Life is moving fast right now, man. So it's good to have everybody come through.
I love that, man. I love it a lot. More than I could say to you guys.
So I just left Walmart, and the whole time I'm in there, everybody's mean mugging me and giving me dirty looks just because I'm not a sheep and I refuse to wear a mask. I got a condition. I was diagnosed with being selfish. I can barely breathe as it is. I'm like a human pug. The only mask I'm wearing is my CPAP machine. They want me to wear a mask and trap in all my CO2, which is bad. I breathe in the oxygen and breathe out the CO2, and it gets trapped in the mask. Next thing you know, I'm breathing in second-hand air and third-hand air, fourth-hand air. Everybody knows the oxygen can get in, but when you breathe out, all that CO2 just gets trapped in, and there's no way on God's flat earth that anything can escape that mask except for the coronavirus, which makes the mask pointless in the first place. And all these doctors out here saying, make sure you wear your masks. Well, I went to the University of YouTube and I graduated MAGA yelled loudly, so they're not the only educated ones out here. That is, if they can make their mind up in the first place. They said, don't wear a mask, then wear a mask. It's like science is willing to change its viewpoint on things when presented with new information. Well, I'm not willing to change, ever. And my friend on Facebook said masks are bad, and he's a doctor. He works for Dr. Scholl's. He works for a store that sells Dr. Scholl's. What I'm trying to say is all these doctors better stop having my best interest at heart, because it's tyranny. And I'll wear a mask if I want to. It's my body, my choice, which applies to everybody unless you're a pregnant woman. You people think us maggots are stupid just because we're dumb. Well, I'll tell you one thing we're not, and that's sheep. You can see them leaving Walmart right now. Look, there's one sheep right there, and two sheep, and three sheep, and four
No, he's out. He's out.
What's going on, everybody? Brothers Breaking Bread podcast, Triple B. We in the house.
Oh, man.
I do not have my mask on, but that's only because I'm in my own fucking house.
You got that covert 19, bro.
That motherfucker calling
Did that
himself.
motherfucker call it the coronavirus, though?
He said the corona. It's stupid. Oh, man. We are back for another week. We are here in the house. We got Tim Meters, the soldier, Joe Jeff, one half of the Brothers of Doom, KC Stork. What's going on, fellas?
What up, man? What up?
Chilling. All right, let's go. You know what? We normally go Joe like last. What's up, Joe? You've been a traveling man.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like saving the best for last this time, huh?
I want it all. I'm like what's my man? I want it all fitted, all leather.
No doubt. Okay. Well, first and foremost, let me start by this. Tomorrow, I will officially be the father of a teenager.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the club, Pimp.
Enjoy.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So the day I've been dreading for the last 13 years has finally arrived.
Enjoy.
Yep. So
You got
shout
your
out to my baby,
firearms?
Cadence.
Yeah, happy
yeah.
birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I gotta get. I'll tell you what. I might have to come through and borrow some of yours, man.
That's good, bro. That's good. That's good.
Right on.
Get some weapons training.
Weapons training.
You know what I'm saying? I'm for that. With that being said, so, you know, we're gonna have a little celebration in the park at a safe distance, 6 feet apart, everybody, you know what I'm saying, mask on and everything. So that'll be tomorrow, man. So we're gonna celebrate my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
So in the meantime, the in-between time, I took a little trip. Took a athlete of mine. We went up to North Dakota because I'm just trying to knock out my 50 states. Mm-hmm. I'm up to 46 now. I got 4 more to go. And so try to hit up North Dakota. We brought our bikes along, so we found a nice little wildlife refuge and got a little ride in. So that was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Saw some swans and some little orioles and all kinds of crap up there. So that's pretty cool.
Where was that at?
Up in North Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah, we slept in Fargo, but you know, I've been watching the Fargo series on Hulu all
Right.
COVID. So you know what I'm saying. So that was cool too.
Love it.
Okay.
But it was towards the South Dakota border. You know what I'm saying. You know, my dude we walked to a gas station, and my dude was like, "There's an arcade there." I was like, "Nah, that's not an arcade, bro. That's a casino." You know, hey, you gotta teach the young ones, man. They gotta learn, man. They gotta learn.
Yeah.
I teach
one,
truth
teach
to the youth.
Nah, bro, that's a casino, sir. those are slot machines.
That ain't Pac-Man. Oh, my bad. Show my age.
So anyway, did that, and then yesterday on the way back, decided to slide through Minneapolis, and that was a game-changing kind of experience, man. Got to check out the devastation left behind by Hurricane George Floyd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, man, the fire. We saw the police station. So, you know, we had heard all the stories, and so being in the environment kind of gives you a better idea of what happened. So, the protests that took place were happening in front of the 3rd District Police Station, which got burnt down. Well, not burned down, but burnt up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is right across the street from Target, which got burnt up, which is right across the street from the AutoZone. Now that mug is gone. The AutoZone is
Yeah.
They started doing demolition. That mug is not here anymore. And which is right across the street. So on these 4 corners, the 4th corner was the wine and liquor store. So if y'all have checked out my little protest song, you know what I'm saying, Call of the Wild, I put on that was a couple weeks ago. That was the image. That was the image from that. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Okay.
And so all 4 of those things in the same intersection. And so what they've done since then is they have boarded up a lot of this stuff, and the stuff that's been boarded up has been, painted upon. And these folks are like serious about abolishing the police. They not trying to defund the police. They trying to abolish.
Right. Yeah, they trying to get them gone.
Yeah, they don't want police, period. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, I don't know. I mean, I was looking at something from Minnesota today, from Minneapolis today, where the board has pretty much approved plans to look and observe ways to go ahead and abolish it, and maybe seek to, maybe do some of the things Frank was talking about, and give a lot of the roles that you had given to police officers to, professionals in the social services. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. It's an institution that was built on hegemony, you know what I'm saying, oppression.
Mm-hmm.
And so it might need to be stripped down to the studs.
Slave catchers. Yep.
I think so.
And rebuilt, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And that's I'm going to be interested to look at the experiment, the social experiment going on in Minnesota, in Minneapolis particularly, and see how that goes and see if that shapes the way we do things.
Well, you brought it up, just real quick, you brought it up before a couple episodes ago about Camden, New Jersey, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They pretty much did that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not as, it didn't have the photo ops, you know what I mean?
The high profile,
yeah, but they did essentially that. But anyways, continue.
No, I mean, that's something we might have to look and to see nationwide. Is that something that we need to examine? You know what I'm saying? So people need to unlearn and relearn, apparently.
Indeed.
And so that is, I don't remember the name of that intersection, but then you go a few blocks away and up, it's like 38th in Chicago. And that is the site of where the activity took place, where they choked out George Floyd, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so they have petitioned off the streets. They have made little community gardens in the middle of the street. So, for the last month, they have just, shut that whole area down, and that's just become like a shrine.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so they have, people brought flowers and artwork, and so they have painted the names on the street of, I can't see if it's all of them, but it's a lot. You guys saw my new cover photo, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got to be like 100 names of people who've been killed by police brutality. You recognize some of them. Some of them, may have slipped through my attention. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the Corinne Gaines, the Oscar Grants, the you know what I'm saying? It even had old boy in Atlanta that just Brooks, what's his name? Rayshon Brooks.
Rayshon Brooks, yeah.
Yeah, so that that's I don't know how newly they added that, but he made the list, and that was only like last week, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So he was on the side on the street, and of course, you know what I'm saying, the people native to Minnesota, Philando Castile, more high profile people. Of course, George Floyd was the first name up there. So I mean, it was kind of cool to go through there and kind of just look and see that it was the outpouring of emotion there was kind of awe-inspiring. You know what I'm saying? And it made you reflect, and got a new profile picture.
I love it.
They had a mural up there, so I took a picture next to the mural, and Angela Davis and some Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and Huey P. Newton and the like. And so man, it was kind of a spiritual experience, man. So it was a nice little 2-day getaway. Got some good food in the meantime. We came on back, man. So
that's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Gotta get away?
Yeah.
Want to get away?
Right.
That was good shit, man. Thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for sharing the pictures too in the chat group, man. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you have a phone and a camera on your phone to take those pictures.
Yeah.
Little joke from earlier.
Should put them up on the podcast too, man.
I probably could. Yeah, I could. I'd have to do some maneuvering, but yeah, I could do that.
Do more work, Joe.
It's right up.
More work for you, nigga.
My lazy ass over here putting out 2 podcasts a week.
Right.
Get them picks to swinging. Oh, shit. What's going on with you, soldier? How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good. I'm just chilling, man. Just trying to continue to navigate through this nonsense, through this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And being a farmer. Oh no.
What you growing?
Don't ask that shit. Don't ask that, because last time I found out Zeb was farming. Hold up.
Hey, man,
abort.
That was in a whole different state, man. That was
a whole different state. Okay.
Abort.
a whole different time period.
He had the lights set up and everything. I was like, oh, okay, this nigga for real.
You holding?
I just hope they don't kick in this week, nigga. That's all I was worried about. Don't kick the door down this week, nigga.
Yeah.
It was all good. It was all good. Everything was beautiful. But I just got a little patio garden, man. Some tomatoes and peppers and some onions and some herbs and shit. You know, some fucking oregano and
This
I like to cook. So
Italian food out here, bruh.
right. A little bit. You know, I dabble in all sorts of cuisines. But yeah, man. So say what?
You make some stuffed peppers. You gotta holler at your boy, man.
Some stuffed peppers.
Yeah.
You know what? My ex used to make stuffed peppers, man, and they was fucking delicious. And I haven't had none in a few years, so I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Actually,
I had text the recipe, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into that on the real. Actually, I got Anyways, fuck my garden. But yeah, man, just trying to, you know. I got a homie that I've been talking to, you know, old school partner I went to high school with. And, you know, we just been he's mostly him. He's really on some, you know, he's kind of a conspiracy theorist, which I used to be, not so much anymore. I mean, I understand conspiracies and whatnot. I don't want to get all into that. But, you know, he's been on some shit about the Constitution, and he's been talking to me, sharing some information with me about a couple of different, like there were apparently 2 constitutions and blah, blah, blah. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the whole, you know, around everything that he's sharing with me.
There was an Articles of Confederation.
Yeah, he's not talking about that, though. I have to... In the group chat, I had to forward it to y'all, and you know, let y'all check it out too. But anyways, you know, he's just been we just been trying to, you know, we've been talking to each other about, you know, just what can we do? You know what I'm saying? What is our function? What role can we play that will actually, you know, move this thing, continue to carry the momentum forward? You know what I'm saying? While this momentum is at the level that it's at, because, you know, obviously everybody knows, you know, what's been going on. And now's the time to strike. You know, it's what they say, strike while the iron's hot. So, you know, just like we be talking about on the podcast and in the group chat, you know what I'm saying, the same ideas and concepts, man. But I'm really just trying to, you know, hone in and figure out exactly what can I do. You know what I'm saying? You know, to carry my weight, you know what I'm saying, and moving our people forward, man. So, I don't know. You know,
this is part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, definitely. Yeah, definitely. But I would like to, you know, I haven't, you know, participated in any other protests or anything like that, mainly because of the Corona thing, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't really want to expose myself. I got, you know, my girl's pregnant, and you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You know, so, but yeah, you know, along with what we do on the Brothers Breaking Bread podcast and in our group chat, you know, but I don't know. I just feel, me personally, I just feel like there's something else that I need to, you know, that I can contribute. So just really trying to figure that out, man, piece that together. That's been weighing, you know, kind of heavy on my mind lately. And, you know, but other than that, man, just living life, you know, just trying to maintain.
Yeah, because, you know, your baby is going to grow up and they're going to learn about 2020 in the history class. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be like, what'd you do, Daddy?
What? Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed, you know. So, yeah, man, I want to have an answer. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a definitive answer. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at, man.
I shouted some niggas down on Facebook.
Oh, yeah? I have it, because I don't even deal with Facebook, so, yeah.
I would get off, but we use it for our chat group, so.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, well, I fuck with the Messenger app, but.
That's about it.
Yeah, I don't fuck with Facebook.
Then I post shit just to pick, I know it's pissing people off. that too, so whatever. What's going on, 10?
Well, nothing much, man. I'm counting down the days back to KC.
Yeah. Bringing all that fucking coronavirus with your ass, nigga.
The completion. And I just been trying to, you know, distract myself getting away from all the news and everything like that, because I've been a little down lately. And last week I had a visitor, which brought my spirits up a little bit, and more than other things. But
Jesus Christ,
you know. But shut up, y'all. But since then, I've been kind of down lately. So I've just been out getting into my hobby slash business opportunity. Just taking photos of different places here in Austin, and things like that. But other than that, I've just been chilling. Going back and forth in the group chat, looking at the headlines, weighing in on some of the things back there, and just been working. That's it.
That's all one can do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Well, thanks, man.
Hey.
What about yourself, bro? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. Just chilling. Took my twin boys out today. They're 15. They'll be 16 here in August. So
awesome.
Basically trying to,
What's their birth? When in August?
August 21st.
Oh.
Yeah, my son's 16.
Okay, nice.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so they got their learning permits. We've been doing the driving, and
yeah,
you know how that goes.
Shit.
So got the pressure up a little bit. They still,
of course they did.
They still having some issues with the turning the traffic, and but they're getting better.
So it sounds like it's time for me to get off the streets, huh?
Yeah, bro. Just don't be in Lee Summit. No time. For the next 2 years, bro.
Okay.
Unless you got business, unless you need to be out this way. Just stay out of Lee Summit.
Stay at 470, huh?
But Anthony and Joe. I know it was Zeb. Yeah, cause you went down the street, went to school right down the street at Smith Hill and then Ruskin. So we was over here at Ingalls. They got the I forget the
I went to Ingalls also. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, what's the apartment complex across the street? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right off Food Lane. So we out there, we doing little donuts and practicing, and they driving and stuff, and a fucking fight breaks out like across the street in this parking lot. It's like it was an older white
on Food Lane. What'd you expect?
Hey, bro. Hey, dog, I mean, of course I've seen fights, but I've never just seen a fight in the middle of the day, like with just like, and they all appear to be at least in their 40s or 50s, bro. All appear to be either drunk.
Real?
Yeah, they were older. They were older.
I ain't seen no grown nigga fight.
Yeah, no, like. Well, then again, drugs and alcohol age white people to speed the sound. Them niggas may have been 20, but they look 40. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the black people, it was about. They had to be late 30s, mid 40s, somewhere in there, right? Just from where across the street from where we're at. And the only thing two things in my mind, right? Because I got my kids with me. Hopefully these niggas don't start shooting, and I hope these niggas stop fighting before the cops come.
Right.
Yeah.
And like all this shit, like the thing that had me most anxious was these two brothers out here fighting, and there's a white woman and an older white dude who I couldn't tell if he was with one of the black dudes trying to break it up, and I wasn't about to get out the fucking car to try to figure it out either. It wasn't my issue. My teenage boys are my issue and my concern.
Right.
But in my back of my mind, like I've never had that thought before. Like I hope people stop fighting before the police come. And it just hit me. I was like, God damn, this is where we at, where it's like, I hope they figure it out before the police come and shoot these niggas in the back.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, yeah. So besides that though, week's been good. Day was good. Weekend's good. Got most of had all except for one of my babies here in the house this weekend. So that's great. This kid had to leave. She out earned that money at Casey's. If you ever out on Lee Summit, before the twins start driving, you go to that Casey's. that Casey's off of Ty George, you know, she might be able to hook you up with a slice. So there we go. But outside of that,
breakfast pizza out there,
huh?
Right.
You'll give me a breakfast pizza out there.
Hey, that Casey's breakfast pizza, dog. That shit go hard, the motherfucker, dog.
Yeah, it does.
It got that motherfucking gravy on it. Yeah, that motherfucker go hard, bro. But yeah, man. Like I said, life is good, man. I can't complain, man. I coronavirus has made me lazy. Cause now work, like it used to be, like I was used to working till 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then every once in a while we have 9, 10 o'clock days. So my average is like 6 o'clock getting off work. Nigga, it'd be 2:30, nigga. I'd be like, ooh, we need to wrap this up.
Ain't got no stamina, nigga.
I'm like, hey, we were late. We went a whole month straight when y'all was sending niggas home at 12 o'clock. I'm like, ooh, you talking about an add-on? Nigga, it's 3:30. What you talking about? We got to go. So I mean,
that's us in Austin, man. Shit, it's time to go after 5 o'clock, man.
But then again,
no add-ons at 3.
But then again, that's a good
add-on.
Yeah, but then again, that's a good thing though. You know, so working, paying bills, so that's all good, man. So I can't complain, man. And I'm glad you brothers are doing good. So let's, you know, it kind of. I'm gonna throw a curveball quick.
You see, this is how I go out. This is how I train. This is how I shop. This is how I run my Spartan races. And I live in a blue fucking state, not even a red one. You think you intimidate me? You don't intimidate me, motherfuckers. Keep screenshotting me. Keep trying to get me fired, you little douchebag, dirty Democrat twats that you are in plain English. That's what you are. You will never intimidate me. It's called freedom of speech. I can wear whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want. Understand? Or you don't understand? Okay? Go back to school, you fucking bunch of losers. Fucking pathetic. Every single fucking one of you. You're fucking pathetic. Trump 2020, motherfucker.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. I've been watching The Sopranos again.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a decent show when I watched it the first time. It was all right. But anyways, I just watched the episode like the other night where Tony was, where his daughter brought home the mixed dude, like he's black and Jewish or some shit.
Right, okay.
And,
no, sir.
And, you know, he was talking shit to her. He was like, you know, get the fuck out of here. Don't, you know, leave my fucking daughter alone and shit. Anyways, hearing her talk just brought back all that fucking Italian fucking racist ass.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And I have nothing against Italians. Just, you know, to be clear.
It's
but
weird.
I have something against racist Italians and racist people of all fucking.
Yes, sir. But,
you know.
But it's weird for her to be like freedom of speech and then be like, I can wear what I want. I'm like, those two things do not go hand in hand.
No.
It's just, it's just like, it just goes with the first video, well, the intro video we played, audio we played, just to let you know that she was serious. The first nigga was telling a joke, but she was serious, and this is what we're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. People who were just like, it's my right to be ignorant and have, but then though it's like, why are we, like, Brother Joe, who's a teacher, is like, why are we not teaching civics and things of this nature in these schools where it's like, these are private institutions that have the right to tell you to shut the fuck up and get out of my establishment.
Right.
People keep saying freedom of people keep saying freedom of speech. It's like, that's not how this works.
No.
None of it.
Is that what she's crying about?
Yeah, she's
crying about having, like, going into this establishment and not being able to wear Trump 2020 shit?
Right. I think it's Trump 2020. Then she's talking about the mask.
The mask.
I get all that, but what I'm saying, the mask. Okay, so she's worried about being able to go to establishments and be unmasked.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I got from it.
But then you see her chest though. It looked like she got COVID-19 all on her titties. So I don't know what that's all about. But she might need more than the mask. I mean, she might need a bib. Anyway, we'll keep it moving. Hey, but I guess good news. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I paused this, and it didn't. Oh, man, I hate this. I hate technology. Anyway, Mississippi Senate approves bill to change the state flag, and the House had already approved it earlier on in the day, or the week, I believe. Mississippi legislature passed a resolution to remove the Confederate battle flag from the Mississippi state flag. The procedural hurdles required a 2/3 majority in the House and Senate to suspend the rules in order to take up a new bill. In the concurrent resolution, the state flag with the Confederate battle emblem must be removed. Mississippi House Speaker Philip Gunn said the vote was a victory for Mississippians. I think it's a tremendous development for all citizens of our state. I believe the flag. Wow. Sorry, y'all.
You talking about our cancel? Boy,
Freudian slip there, bro.
Bruh, that's not Freudian. That's too much spit in my mouth. I believe the flag has begun to serve as an obstacle to moving us forward. The passage of this resolution now opens the door for us to entertain a new flag, said Gunn. Well, that's all right, man. That's all right.
Well, fuck, the SEC put that pressure on them, boy.
What you say?
SEC put that pressure on them.
Hey, I guess so.
They said we ain't gonna have no games. Ain't gonna be no games in Mississippi if you can't get that flag right.
Yeah.
NCAA said the same thing. So.
Yep. The House passed the flag bill in a 2/3 majority with 85 yeas, 34 nays to advance the bill. The Senate voted with majority approval in a 36-14 vote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think what's gonna happen, man, is they're gonna push for it to be a referendum. They're gonna have a vote in Mississippi, and there's gonna be one last bastion of hope. And if we vote to change the flag, well, then that's just what it is. But we're gonna fight to the last man.
The last man.
One's done.
Now look here. I ain't got nothing against niggers. They ain't never done nothing wrong to me. Matter of fact,
they ain't never been on my property.
Matter of fact, my grandpappy told me that he used to suck on nigger titties when he was a baby. That's why he's so big and strong.
Horse fat motherfucker.
Oh my God!
I love fried chicken.
And I eat some watermelon from time to time.
Now, don't tell my wife. Sometimes I watch the colored porn because my wife's backside is about as flat as a fucking washboard. But the colored girls, they got the. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, y'all saw that fucking video I put in the chat group.
I know that little white baby.
Yeah.
How old that boy? Like 5?
Early.
Yo, he saw the two black girls sitting there on the beach with their ass out. He said, "Oh shit, what do we got here?"
That motherfucker heard that. Apple bottom jean boot with the fur,
I need to pause and take this in.
Oh, what do we have here?
This is a new type of pillow right here.
You do not look like my mama when she in the motherfucking bathing suit at all. Not at all. My mom wear a bathing suit. That shit look like a motherfucking loose fitted sheet. Just wind just blowing it. Just blowing it. It ain't hugging the skin or nothing.
It kind of just caresses your curves.
That shit look like the American flag at night blowing in the wind, just flapping. But y'all ain't got no flapping. Anyway. All right, here we go.
No matter when it was made, when the knot was tied, when the noose was tied, that somebody still out there did it as a joke, a bad joke, whatever. It was relief that I wasn't a target of that, but still, someone out there has created that, and they'll have to live with that. But knowing that they did all the intensive research and went to those measures to again back up the point that there was a noose in my garage, just shows the character and the testament of NASCAR and how they will not stand for any of those kinds of acts.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Well, man, they upset their flag on the way, man.
Mm-hmm. What you say?
There's an attack on the Confederate battle flag.
Mm-hmm.
You won't let me bring it to the NASCAR. You're trying to take it away from my state flag. I don't know. Shit. All I got. What recourse I got left?
Hey, Jim.
Fucking noose in your garage.
Hey, Jimbo. Let's tie a noose, but let's hang it on the side of the garage. That way, when the feds come, we'll just say it's a pull. It's a handle. We pull it down.
That ain't nothing but a handle. Well, it's a slip knot.
I'm still kind of upset that this man said, you know what? I get it. I don't know. For him to say I was not the target of it, I kind of got to go.
Yeah,
maybe you were.
They didn't put it in all the garages. They just put it in Bubba's.
They just put it in yours.
But that man said I wasn't the target of it because, of course, the FBI says that he was not a target of hate crime.
You know, he got to exist in that world. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And he's saying that, he's saying it because it was already there before he was assigned the garage, but you was assigned to that specific fucking garage.
Put a noose on it.
I don't even
was
believe,
already there, so
I don't even believe that, though.
Knew
in
that
Talladega, Alabama,
the garage before they assigned it to you.
Yeah, right. I hear what you're saying. I hear that's the story that we're being told that it was there already, but it's just hard for me to believe.
That you see that shit on the net?
Hold on. They've been hanging niggas forever. So I don't doubt that it was already.
Are you talking about the Richard Petty shit?
Yeah, look at Bubba's neck. It say Petty like a motherfucker on that.
Hey, Richard Petty.
Richard Petty. That I mean, he got some issues too. But we don't. I mean, NASCAR in general got some issues.
I'm just saying NASCAR being petty.
NASCAR is being a little petty.
They being a little petty.
I put it this way: NASCAR stepped up, man. Fuck this shit.
They did, but it's like we got to.
It took them a long ass time to do it.
How many years?
Decades.
How many decades?
but when they came down strong. So I get what I'm saying, but niggas out here trying to get petty with them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get Richard Petty with your boy. So
I feel you though, but it's still like, dog, like them niggas basically said, "Oh, that noose that was in your locker, that's an old noose." Sorry.
That wasn't meant for you.
That's some old racism. Sorry about that.
You out here mad about residual racism.
Yo, we overlooked it. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but once again though, they said it's like they saying, like, I get the FBI saying it was confirmed to have been in there since 2019. Well, who's the nigga that who put it up there?
Who put it there? You're right.
Who put it there? And who are the people for the last fucking year just let it be there? And
just
then
stay there. And
then on top of that, once they learn that the only black man who is of relevance in NASCAR is going to be assigned to that garage, then nobody go, "Hey, bro, could you run to the noose garage and take that down, please?"
Right, exactly.
Make sure that noose is gone, please.
Yeah,
because it's not a good look for NASCAR.
I mean, come on, we all
right after they banned the flag, you know what I'm saying?
Right after we banned the flag, right after.
It wasn't 3 years later to get out. That shit was right after they banned the flag.
And this nigga had the Black Lives Matter card, nigga.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Man. Yeah, it's something ain't right.
All over his car.
Something ain't right.
I'm like, come on. We all live in places, and when you know you got company coming, you clean up. So I'm gonna make sure, especially when the world is burning because black people feel like they are being treated unequally, and we just removed. And NASCAR just said, "Hey, no Confederate flag." You think we might go through and clean up and make sure ain't no nooses just laying around in the garages? We might do
got a word for that kind of coincidence.
What we call that?
That shit's called suspicious.
Suspicious.
And one quick correction. No disrespect. But black people don't feel like we're being treated unequal. We are being treated unequal.
Oh, my bad. You're right. You know what I'm saying. But I feel you. Yes, sir. We are
just
words matter.
Words do matter. Words do matter. Thank you, soldier. Words do matter. We are being treated equal, but somebody at NASCAR might say, "Well, these people doing this, and that. We might want to go do a clean sweep." Can Could you guys please throw away all the cuckold porn? Could you get rid of
before the in-laws
right there, huh, Stuart?
I'm just saying, can we get rid of can we get rid of all the old all the handkerchiefs that happen to just be Confederate flags? Can we get rid of all of those, please? Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it though. But and then people have been, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, people have been trying to do this whole thing where they're trying to equate this to the whole Juicy Smollett thing. Let's remember, Bubba Wallace never found or saw the noose. He never brought to anyone's attention because, of course, he didn't find it. This was all going on around him and outside of him, and he was made aware of it. So the shit ain't the same, but people have been trying to make it the same. They just being ignorant because, once again, there's no racism here. It's racism elsewhere, even though there's racism right in front of you. That's how America acts. So there we go. We have it. All right. This might be a little long. We ain't got to play all this shit.
As we've watched these street protests night out.
We ain't playing all this shit. Hey, but did y'all... Go ahead. Somebody say something?
What? No.
Oh, no. So, I don't know if you guys heard about the police up in North Carolina that were caught on tape talking about they won a race war.
Yeah, a bunch of little Charles Mansons running around.
Yeah.
That's right.
In Wilmington, North Carolina, 3 longtime police officers were fired after a video of their racist conversation was discovered. One officer says that a civil war is needed to wipe them off the fucking map. That'll put them back about 4 or 5 generations. The police.
Maybe we need to go ahead and let that shit. Yeah, maybe we need to go ahead and let police departments go across the country.
Yeah, man, it's a valid thought. It's a valid consideration.
And just start over. If we're gonna have police officers, we just reform the police department in a new image. Maybe that's what we need to do.
All right.
It might be. Hey, I mean, you got cops in their cars on the clock talking about race war. Let's go. But I'm not supposed to be afraid, and I'm not supposed to fear for my children. I'm not supposed to fear for you guys who are my friends that I love. I'm not supposed to have fear in my heart when you guys are out and about. When Joe was, I'm going to North Dakota, I was like, okay, what was my next line? Be safe, pimp.
Yeah.
Even though I know he is legal, he got fucking his shit's right. He got identification. He ain't got no warrants. He ain't committed no crimes. He is.
I don't know, nigga. I done rolled dirty before.
I mean, we all done rolled dirty before. I mean, we all done rolled dirty. But even riding dirty shouldn't be a death sentence. But all this shit, dog. And I'm just like, damn.
It bees like that though in the race.
It bees like that. But I also would think if my nigga riding dirty, hope he ain't going to North Dakota.
Straight up.
I might
get your shit right before your road trip. Nigga.
I'm about to say I might contemplate a booty call riding dirty, but I ain't going to no motherfucking North Dakota.
Right.
But yeah, man.
Did you see any Native Americans in North Dakota, man?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm saying it was at the fucking casino. Mm-hmm. The casino,
right.
The casino / gas station.
Right.
Of course.
Oh, that's like Oklahoma. Oklahoma, you go down there. They got the motherfucking casino / gas stations and shit.
But in Oklahoma, they be real ass casinos. This motherfucker was like the back room of a gas station.
No, they got. I'm saying, but they got both though. I didn't see a little bit of both.
Yeah.
No
doubt.
Matter of fact, the little liquor store up here around the corner, they got like slot machines. I'm like, now I think about it. How the fuck they doing that? I gotta ask them about that. Anyway. Keep it up with the police. But this time it's a good time. Ohio cops called on black kids for playing street football. Instead, the cops joined the game, and we find out that all black men can't play football. So, hopefully this video played, dog. They ain't gonna play. Hold on. That black dude, sorry. Why
you sitting on that post corner, nigga?
And he got picked up. Hey, dog.
Randy Moss's ass, nigga. He tried to high point him.
Hold on, he looked tired, dog. He gave him the end. He gave him the ending up, nigga.
Nigga, he must have just came out the oven because that nigga got toasted.
That white dude gave him the ending up, dog.
He gave him hell, dog.
He gave him that slant go route, nigga.
Yeah, he did.
That's good though. That's good. And we sorry, James. We did play the video. Sorry about that.
Because he was adamant. Fuck them people.
Fuck them cops, nigga. I don't care about none of this shit.
They doing the bare minimum.
They doing the bare minimum. Hey, dog, I ain't gonna lie. Like I told you,
I should have hit him with that Clint Eastwood.
Hey, dog, you know that's my name for that nigga, dog. What's up, old grumpy ass nigga? What's up, Clint Eastwood?
What are you spooks doing on the corner?
What you spooks doing on the corner?
Oh, Gran Torino, yeah.
Hey, dog, but like I said in the pregame, man, only thing I was worried about, man, y'all saw that video on my screen, man. Them niggas was slamming each other down with all that shit on. I said, one of these niggas gonna get shot. They gonna blame one of these kids, dog. I can see it happening, bro.
Oh shit.
But that's good shit. They should have went. They should have went and harassed them. Whoever called the cops on them kids, right, man.
Well, I mean, my thing was this. My thing was that, you know what I'm saying, yes, it should not be news that police officers interacted with the public. That should be a daily occurrence.
Correct.
Right.
But like I said to y'all in the group, as a coach, as a teacher, and even as a dog owner, posthumously.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, as a former dog owner, you know what I'm saying, what I learned is that, you know what I'm saying, if you want to see behavior repeated, you have to reward that behavior. You know what I'm saying? If you want, if your dog does whatever you've taught them to do, you have to give them that treat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And so, you know, same thing in the classroom and the coaching. You know what I'm saying? When we come down hard on people when they do wrong, we gotta uplift them equally hard.
At least, reward them when they do right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When they do right, yeah, we gotta reward them equally hard when they do right. So I mean, when you see police officers, you know, the Tommy Normans of the world doing the right thing, we gotta uplift that, man. We got to say, hey.
Now I was watching,
this is the example of what we want to see. You know,
I was checking out Nori's drink champs last night.
Right. Okay.
But it was what was he calling it? The protest champs. He had,
okay.
He had,
who do you have on drink champs?
Mark Lamont Hill. And then my son joined in, and then Bun B joined in, and Talib Kweli joined in also.
Oh, because they're not sitting around the table; they got to be doing it.
Right? Yeah, like Bun B was driving the whole time. He was
I got you. Yeah, okay.
But anyways, so Mark Lamont brought that up, that that situation with the football and people posting things, those sorts of positive interactions with the police. And he was against it, which I don't necessarily agree, because I more agree with what with the positive reinforcement. But he also made a good point. He was like, basically, the system is broken. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, of course you're gonna have, you're gonna have good police. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be the norm, obviously. But when you kind of highlight these interactions that happen few and far between, unfortunately, you kind of basically give the image that the system in and of itself isn't corrupt and isn't broken. You know what I'm saying?
We've seen several images where the shit's broken. I mean,
so
right,
So what they're saying is,
but he's also self-admittedly, my bad, Tin. He said, basically, man, it's, people know that the public school system in and of itself is dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? Of course.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I know. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold up, nigga. You talking about me and mine now?
I know exactly. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead. I'm listening. I just want you to know you have my attention.
Now I'm talking about.
Oh shit.
This is not me. This is what he was saying, right? I'm just bringing this point out, for debate or discussion or whatnot.
Right.
So he was like, so of course you got good teachers, you know what I'm saying, like yourself, Mr. Jefferson, you know what I'm saying? But the system in and of itself, especially, when you're dealing overall, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of inner city communities and whatnot, we all know the story, you know what I'm saying? And so the system in and of itself needs to be revamped, you know what I'm saying, needs to be at the very least reformed, if not tore down and rebuilt altogether, and so basically he was just saying putting these images up allows people the luxury, the comfortability to be like, oh, well, it's not as bad as, George Floyd, that's just a one-off, you know what I'm saying? That's a isolated incident, which is what they've been talking about forever, about the bad apples, even though the saying is one bad apple spoils the fucking bunch, you know what I'm saying? But all the politicians, for the most part, and the police chiefs and the unions and shit, all they ever talk about is, well, it was just a bad apple. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's the bad apple is a product of the fucked up system in and of itself. So he was just saying that it allows people that comfortability to be able to just call these incidents isolated incidents, where actually that's an isolated incident, and that really doesn't need to be uplifted, because that's as you said, that's what should be happening anyways. So I don't know. I thought it was a good, interesting point that he made, though.
I mean, that does make a good point, but what I was going to say was that, stories like this with the cops doing, interacting with the community and everything like that is like a mask. It's a mask showing the public that, hey, see, the police department is good. The police department is doing well. And so there's no need for reform. And so we tend to look at these feel-good stories and forget about the reform or the repair that these police departments need to make in order for everyone to feel safe. Because, I mean, even though this was a good thing that the police interact with these kids, I still do not feel safe waking up every morning, getting into my car, driving to work to do what I'm supposed to do, and also coming back from that same place where I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and try to get, to my place of residence, safely. I still do not feel comfortable.
I don't know, man.
In doing so.
These niggas might went out and play football in the afternoon, and by the evening shift, they might crack the nigga's head wide the fuck open. I don't know.
They could have did that.
I don't have a problem with reinforcing good behavior. You know what I'm saying? This is what we want to see. So big up for that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, if they see it, you know what I'm saying, people start saying, because you got bitches breaking down at fucking McDonald's because they hash browns ain't come through.
We forgot to play that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's some fucking. Let them get a win. Get a win, and maybe they'll do better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll go out there and play football with some more folks to go hoop or something like that, and de-escalate some shit. But what I'm saying to you is we've got plenty of imagery of bad policing, and we don't have anything to worry about motherfuckers forgetting that this shit's fucked up, and it needs to be reformed. Like, George Floyd wasn't the last nigga that was killed by police violence.
Nope.
No.
You had, we still ain't had justice for Breonna Taylor. And in Louisville, where Breonna Taylor was murdered, they've had another murder of a shop owner during the rioting by police. Yeah. And then, not to mention that, we already talked about last week, Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta.
Right.
Didn't they have a brother in, I believe in, I forget, the black dude in Colorado It was in Aurora, the same place where the
It's in Aurora, Colorado. Yeah,
the same place where the guy
murders took place.
Yeah, the same place where the dude shot up the theater and shit. Yeah. But anyway, but you go ahead, Joe. My bad.
Well, I mean, I was just saying that I don't have a problem with saying it's an opportunity to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
This is the bullshit we don't like. This is the shit that, you know what I'm saying, that we do like.
We had more of. Right. That we had more of this.
And I don't need niggas to play football, but you know what I'm saying, come through and be
shooter hoops.
But I will disagree with you.
Engage with the community.
I do disagree with you on one point, man. You said, if I heard right, you said that there's no danger of people forgetting. Because we have all the
shit ton of negative
bad images. Yeah. But I don't agree with that, man. I think that one thing that America is very good at is forgetting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, America don't forget. I mean,
Now we're not gonna forget. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna forget. We didn't need that shit. I didn't need to see George Floyd, being fucking executed. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need to see Rayshard Brooks being executed. I didn't need to hear about Breonna Taylor being executed. You know what I'm saying? Already know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Just like y'all do. But there's a whole lot of people in this country that, without that shit, man, they want to forget. Number one, they don't want to know about it in the first place at all. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's always a danger of that shit being forgotten about.
But see, with tragedies like these make white people uncomfortable. They don't want to feel uncomfortable. They don't want to see this.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I was saying,
and that's why they tend to forget things like
But but you forget though. I mean, I could find the video very easy because I talked about it on Twitter. But there are a group of people. They're not even a group. There is a large part of white America. It's not forgetting. They'll create a whole new narrative for the situation. Yeah. So now, there's a whole new narrative of George Floyd. It was some bitch who was a nurse talking about he was on meth, he was on crack, he had COVID, he got all this other shit, and it's like that's the reason why he died. So there's a large. We talked about with the Bubba Wallace shit where it ain't. Yeah, there's racism, but it ain't here. Yeah, there's bad. There might be some bad police, but they ain't here. You know what I'm saying? It's this thing. It's never the fucking thing that's right in front of your eyes when it comes to a law. And even like with a few niggas too, we see that too. We got videos with niggas that talk about that say that, or they basically on the bandwagon. So it's like it's not that people. It's even scarier though. We're not forgetting. We'll create a whole new fucking narrative, even though the video in front of our eyes shows what happened. So I mean, and like I'm kind of with Joe too, but I think everybody's. We need those, like, you need to see what it could be, right? But we ain't gonna forget. We ain't gonna forget, and we don't. And I don't want cops just roaming my streets willy nilly, all this shit. Yeah, this is what could be, but we far away from this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you know how many games of fucking catch they gonna have to play to balance out for George Floyd, nigga?
Yeah,
ain't enough.
Yeah,
ain't enough.
Nigga, them two shits do not. That's nah. Nigga, that's your fucking flashlight versus the sun, nigga.
And like you
that
said,
shit don't even out.
And like you said, Joe, it might even be. They may not even be the people who are busting niggas upside the head. They might be the two motherfuckers who's holding the legs while they asshole cop friend puts his knee on a nigga's neck next week, which makes them just as bad to me. So like Zeb said, and we all agree, the system is fucked up. It's so fucked up, bro. We just gotta. The shit got. I don't know how we get there. I know Frank want everybody to unarm everyone, but it's somewhere in that gray area in the middle, dog, where we got to fix this shit, dog. Because I should not be at a fucking school parking lot teaching my teenage boys how to drive and see a fight break out. And my first thought is, I hope they stop before the cops come. Because one of you niggas gonna get shot.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know, so, and then, like, I ain't about to get out of my car and go over there because I don't want to be confused for a nigga that was fighting.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to help out. I'm trying to stop this shit, and I can fuck around and get shot.
And now my teenage boys see their daddy get shot in the face by the police because he tried to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
whatever. But
yeah, they ain't never gonna learn how to drive then.
Never gonna. Nope. They gonna be like, I don't want to drive no cars. And I'm walking for life, nigga.
That shit, nigga. I'm public transit in this bitch.
Why you don't want to drive? Man, my dad told me how. Damn, that'd be a horrible fucking origin story, nigga. That'd be the worst origin story ever. I hate the police and I hate cars, nigga.
You know, and there was also I think I put it up, which I thought was interesting. It was on I think Joe Rogan's thing. And some dude, he was a Navy SEAL or some shit like that. Oh, and he was talking about the training and shit.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah,
I still ain't caught that one yet.
He has his own podcast too. Jocko.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so that's something that you know, that was the first time I had thought about that. I had never really, you know, thought that deeply about it. About the type of training and the intensity, you know what I'm saying, and you know, just the continuous training, because you know, with anything, man, the more you do it, the better you get at it. You know what I'm saying? The more you're exposed to it, you know, the better you're going to react, and you know, and that's something that, you know, obviously doesn't happen. They might do a little, and Joe was talking about this the last podcast that I did, I missed last week's, but when we were talking about defunding and you know, but you were like, Joe was like, well, you know, divert more of the funds to, you know, to extend the training and to, and then we started talking about, you know, the requirements and, you know, that you should have at least an associate's and if you want to hit a certain rank, you know, you need to have a bachelor's and blah, 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 so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. These are, you know, myself, you know, I'm learning shit. I'm thinking thoughts that I had never even considered, you know, seriously, as with a lot of other people, I assume. So, you know, it's an interesting thing, man, you know, and these things need to be seriously considered and figured out, man, because, you know, we can't continue kicking the can. You know, we just can't. It ain't gonna sustain. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker will fall apart. You know
I tell you, when I was in Minnesota, man, in Minneapolis specifically,
Black privilege is thinking.
Okay.
Go ahead, my man.
The community is on their mind. You know what I'm saying? The conversation is in full swing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go. Everybody's got something in their yard suggesting that they are for the movement. You know what I'm saying, for Black Lives Matter and that type of thing. Like I said, the graffiti on the boards is basically saying abolish the police. The conversation is in full swing.
It's going on. Yeah. Okay.
And it's not black people. It's the entire community. You know what I'm saying? I was driving through the park. They didn't spray paint it on the park that's down the street from where he was killed. You know, it's a few blocks down, and renamed the park George Floyd Park or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then there were white people that were, as we were driving by, that were putting down signs that said Black Lives Matter in the park. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, it's not a black movement, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's an American movement.
It's an American movement. It's all of us against racists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
which is a good thing. Yeah.
The conversation is well underway. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to keep that conversation going.
Well, the one thing I've noticed about this whole movement is it's really fleshing out the racism. I mean, now you're
right about that.
You really get to see. I mean, we've seen it, but now you really get to see the racists. It's like it's more to the surface now.
Hey,
yeah, they're being exposed.
Speaking of seeing them.
You are deserved or entitled to something because of the color of your skin. Black people especially, do get special scholarships They're also shielded from a lot of scrutiny because of the color of their skin. Nobody wants to be tagged as racist. I'm not racist. I have respect for all skin colors. Asian, Hispanic, black, whatever. I would never treat any patient differently. I would never treat any human being differently. I think God loves everyone. I'm on the same page. However, I don't think that any race is above scrutiny, including black people. I think that the way people are behaving and the things that are being said are unreal. I don't have words for them. That being said, what do you feel?
I'm gonna play the rest of it. But
if you ain't got no words for him, why she don't shut the fuck up?
Shut the fuck up.
So in all these Karen videos, and this bitch is another Karen.
Of course.
And this bitch is a nurse. Oh my God, it's so sickening. The amount of people that probably have
That's
suffered.
your profession, niggas.
I know,
y'all too. Come on, man. Y'all fucking
the amount of black and brown people who have probably suffered under this bitch's care. I can't even.
That's the thing I'm thinking about.
But if you look at this video, like we talked about the Karen part, the dog was trying to let her know, hey. We talk about old boy with his son. The son was like, hey, Pop, we probably should get out of here. That bitch had a little something on her shoulder that said, you probably should shut up. That's when she took that swallow and it was like, some of her brain was like, hey, you about to get fired.
Well, those two situations you brought up, old boy at the apartment building in San Francisco about a year ago.
Yeah.
With his boy tugging on him and fucking Amy Cooper.
Yeah.
At Central Park about a month ago, a few weeks ago. They weren't voluntarily.
Oh no.
They put themselves in a situation. Somebody pulled a camera out, and then they had to deal with that situation. This bitch volunteered.
Oh, I agree, Joe.
Herself.
I'm just saying. I agree totally. It's different on that end. I'm just saying they had something there to say you should stop. This is the time to stop. This bitch's own brain was shutting down like, we should stop now before we go into full racist, we about to get fired mode. So I do agree, though. It's totally different, whereas they were out and about. She took it upon herself to say, I'm going to post this. But even doing that posting, something in her was like, you should stop. You should stop. But she didn't stop. So let's go. Let's keep going.
She didn't pause.
You go out and do where you're like, oh, I'm black. Oh, I'm black. I'm feeling it today. I don't understand. And yes, George Floyd actually was resisting arrest. He started to have a freak out panic attack when they went to put him in the car, probably because he was high on meth, fentanyl, and positive for COVID. You should know as a nurse that like COVID is like when you go into severe respiratory distress. He probably had like an MI when he was down on the ground. Was the police officer's foot in the wrong spot? Maybe, but meth and fentanyl and positive COVID are probably more leading factors to an MI, so do your research. Anyway, that being said, there are many cases where in Central Park, black people killed a white teen and nobody cared. Nobody did a thing. So guess what? It's all subjective to your color and your gender.
Fuck that bitch. That's what gets me know. They pull out the random black people killed Superman.
Well, she talking about the fucking Trump shit,
nigga.
With the exonerated five.
I don't know.
He ain't talking about that.
I don't know, dog. All I'm saying is she got fired, and somebody like, oh, she got fired. That ain't a fucking enough. She needs to be in front of the board. She needs to have her fucking license removed, and she needs not to be able to practice as a nurse in any fucking state, dog. Because it's like the police. They get fired and they go down the street and get somewhere, become a cop somewhere else. Now, for all we know, she might have a license where they got she might have one of those compromised states license where you can just do whatever the fuck. You can go to 25 different states and be a nurse somewhere else. That bitch need to have her shit removed, dog. This is sickening, bro. It's so sickening. You supposed to be fucking caring for people, man. What is this shit?
You said she's supposed to be caring for people. She caring for people.
Caring. She
not caring.
She caring, all right. Man, she dog. This dog. Internet. He went, "Hi, I'm Karen." I mean, like, dog. I know. I work. I work in Overland Park. I know there are people up on the floor. Probably people in the lab, maybe that in the labs and things like that. They ain't never said to me, but let a motherfucker even mumble some shit like this, nigga. We gonna have all kind of furniture moving.
Yeah. I agree, Store. I agree, cause I couldn't even watch the rest of this.
What possessed your dumb ass to tell on yourself and then push send?
Cause dog, I don't know if it was Zeb or Tim Mears that said white people don't know what to do. They've never have been at this level,
never been this uncomfortable, dog.
At this level, being held to come to account for the shit that they've been doing and the shit that has allowed them to fucking have privilege. They ain't never been held to this. They don't know what to do.
Never been this uncomfortable.
They don't know what to do. That's why all these videos are coming out, because they're like, "Oh, there's a nigga questioning me."
Right.
Move out the way, nigga. Oh, wait a minute, I'm fired. You know, they ain't never had that before, bro.
Oh.
And they don't know what to do. You can tell they don't know what to do. Oh, there's a Latina woman telling me to get the fuck out the way after I told her to go back to her country.
Oh, right. Especially when motherfuckers is getting aggressive when they telling you about your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell me about my shit, but tell me politely. Right. Yeah. Niggas try to tell you politely.
This is how I look at it, man. Is they just kicking and screaming, bro. Like, for instance, there was a situation where I live at. We got some new neighbors. And, you know, like, we usually park in the garage, but there's you can park in front of the house on the street. Mm-hmm. Also, which we don't do all the time, but we like that, you know, we want to have that fucking option. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I had to talk to the neighbors. You know, I put a note on their car, like, you know, can you please not park in front of our house? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're going to be, like, here all fucking day and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, you know what? I ain't just going to put a note on their car. You know, I did that. But then I also went over there and talked to them because I was like, you know, I would kind of feel a little bit of a way for motherfucker just put a note on my car and, like, you live right next door to me. Come and fucking talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And so I did that, right? And, you know, the chick was, you know, she was all good, you know, whatever. And then, like, a day or two later, she did it again. You know what I'm saying? So I put another fucking note on her car, right? And then, like, the next day or a couple of days later, me and my girl, we was in the bed, we was asleep, and somebody came and knocked on the door. My girl got up. When they answered the door, it's the chick. And she's kind of throwing a little hissy fit, talking about she gonna report us to, I don't know who the fuck she gonna report us to, for harassing her if we you know, keep putting notes on her car and shit. I didn't hear this conversation because I was in the bed, but, you know, my girl came and told me, and I was like, okay, whatever. You know, she want to call the police, call the fucking police. You know, I don't give a fuck. And so, but my point is that since then they haven't parked. They, you know, she came over kicking and screaming. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I don't give a fuck about that. Just don't, as long as you don't park in my shit. You know what I'm saying? In front of my house. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how I feel like that. You know, they see, like y'all was saying, man. You know, they're being made uncomfortable to a level that they've never had to deal with before, and the shit is changing. You know what I'm saying? This is why I was talking about striking while the iron's hot. You know, the shit is changing, and so you're gonna have these motherfuckers that's gonna kick and scream. You know, but at the end of the day, as long as they fucking abide, who gives a fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what little fucking spoiled ass brats do. You know what I'm saying? When you have to discipline a little spoiled ass kid, they're gonna kick and scream and throw a little hissy fit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, as long as you do what the fuck I'm telling you that you need to do, as long as you're doing what you need, as long as you're taking care of your responsibilities and doing what's right, then you know what I'm saying? That's just gonna eventually, because you ain't gonna kick and scream forever. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's how I see that shit, man.
Agreed.
I feel like you should have slapped her.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I feel like you should have slapped her.
Well,
then I would be not wanting the police to come over.
Ow. Now you don't want the police to come by, huh?
well, I mean, they would just came in shooting. And
Right,
we would have had one less podcast.
They might came through and play football with you.
I doubt it.
I wasn't playing football. They come through and smoke a bowl with me, though.
Well, maybe if you'd have tackled her. Play kill the man with the football.
I tell you what, bro. If she parking my shit again, I'll tackle her and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But
and then breaking news.
Break bread with your brothers whenever possible.